That's Archie the mule here in Eagle, Idaho. Holly is such a nice horsey. Hi, Holly. Yes, you're a good girl. What are you guys doing out here? Well, they've been out here since first week in November of 2011, and when I'm home all the time, and I'm out here watching them, and I can tell you what they do. They eat and eat and eat and make road apples and swish flies with their violin string tails. And Archie, he's a mule. But he's a really good boy. Then you got Roxy over there. Can't really see her real well. I've got this Mino HD made by Cisco. Thank God YouTube has this stabilization function. Basically, this camera is just a little rectangular thing, and it just is so unstable. But anyway, hey Roxy, she hears me, but she knows I don't have any food for her. They already had hay. We supplement their hay every day, even though there's grass out here, and there's another whole, I don't want to pan too fast to make you dizzy, but there's a whole nother pasture over here, another acre plus that they can go to. They have full rain right through that gate by the watering thing. But they eat grass all day long. I don't know if they eat at night. They probably do. And they sleep. They lay down right on the ground. Sometimes they lay on the hill, side of a hill down there, or just right on the flat ground. Or sometimes they sleep standing up. They can do that. But they eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. I guess they're pretty big and muscly. Mostly they eat. Hey Arch, are you coming over here? Huh? He's got a fly mask on. Brooke picked out one that had the ear things, which I understand. At first it makes him look goofy. But if you're a mule and you didn't have flies crawling around in your ears all the time, you'd probably say, "Thank you, Mommy." Right, Arch? You'll take a little goofy looking hat to feel no flies, right? Hey Arch. When Brooke was here back in March, she trimmed him up real nice and took a big winter coat off of him. And it's growing back real well. You can still see some of the, I don't know if you can see it in this video, but the shaving area back on his back, along the side of his belly. But if she hadn't have done that, I'm sure, I'm not an expert, but I would guess that he'd be pretty hot pretty soon. We've had some pretty warm days here, right, Arch? Like up in the 80s. Right now it's probably 60 or so, and it'll get warm here in the summertime, so it's a good thing to do for him. Help him out. Now he could go anywhere in this whole field and do his grazing, but he's coming over here by me because he hears me talking, yakking. Because he's a good boy. I learned that a mule is a cross between a female horse and a male donkey, if you can imagine. Did you know that, buddy? Huh? And Archie is sterile because of that. From what I understand, anyway. Just filled with facts, aren't I? It's pretty cool, though. You can see how he just clips the grass off. Doesn't pull it out by the roots. I guess goats and sheep, or maybe I'm wrong, but I've heard that they rip it right out of the ground by the root. And a horse tends to kind of clip it right off where you want it. So if you're going to use an animal to mow your yard, you probably want to use a horse. Hey, Rox. Roxanne. Roxanne. Roxy. If I had some peppermints, they'd come right over here. Rox. Roxannabelle. Oh man, 2 ducks just went right over my head. That's all they do. I mean, you couldn't sit, well, some people can. Some people like to watch horses like this video. There's someone that's watching this that'll watch a horse video. You know, it's like me watching airplanes. I love watching airplanes, and I appreciate horses just because it kind of forces me to be outside, I guess. That's maybe why. But they made me buy a cowboy hat. And I'm probably going to buy Carhartt clothing because it makes sense. But I don't ride them because I'm afraid. I fly airplanes, but I won't ride horses. Hey, Rox. These black buckets are where Bonnie puts the hay. Something I didn't realize is with a small bale of hay, basically the size of bale that a person can pick up, they're compressed by the baler into what are called flakes. I don't know how many flakes are in a bale, but I'm going to say, oh boy, it's probably 6 or 8, maybe 10. I don't know. And you break those off, sorta. You give them to the horses. Just an easier way to parcel it up. Someone's enjoying my rambling video, but you will see that these guys have been doing what I said, right, the whole time, right? Eating. Roxy, I can tell, is slowly going towards that waterer, which I can see now is overflowing on both sides, which is not good. And that makes a muddy mess, but it only goes out 2 or 3 feet. We had a guy come out here when we first got here in November, and basically it's like a toilet bowl with a float. But because we rented this place and I can't control the electricity that goes into that thing, it's a little goofy, but I would shut it off and adjust the float so that we could fix it, but at the moment I can't. Therefore we have this watery thing, but it's not that bad yet. And I'm not the owner of it. Uh-oh. Oh, what are we doing here? Arch is going into the other pasture, so is Holly. See ya! Of course now I would guess. I'd guess a bale of hay that Roxy is going to see those guys and go like, you can't be out there. Not without me leading you. I must go right out there and lead you. Roxy, look, they're out in the other pasture. Oh. Yes. She must lead them. Now push Holly away, because she can't be right where she is, because you are. This is kind of exciting grazing tonight. There's a lot more grass out here. I'm not sure why those guys are wasting their time over there at the other one. We call this the north pasture. They were in the east pasture. I wish this camera had the ability to focus right in on their lips and their mouth right when they're doing that. It's pretty cool. Those are machines, man. Holly had to push Archie away.